And hello, everyone. It is FANzine Live. It is Tom, and we are talking about classic zines. I was digging around and thinking that I hadn't really looked at magazine-sized stuff recently. I've done some mini comics, and so I kind of jump back and forth. I organize my books by size, so I've got my tiny mini comics, my digests, and then my full-size stuff. And so digging through the larger stuff, I found a C&T Graphics book called Hamjam by Timmy C. and Teddy Lee. And Timmy C., of course, is Tim Corrigan from C&T Graphics, the publisher at one point of Small Press Comics Explosion. And then Teddy Lee is Ted Bolman, who I have wanted to... He's a fantastic cartoonist. I've wanted to do a spotlight on his work and just hadn't had the opportunity. So when this came up, I was thrilled. Neat work here. I'm thinking this is colored pencil, but I'm not entirely certain. Tim had a color copier, and so he definitely did a lot of printing trying to do multicolors. The thing that I also wanted to mention about this is a jam comic, and jam comics are very popular in small press circles because it's a chance for folks who are normally making their comics and zines in isolation by themselves with no other influences to work in collaboration with others who are perhaps far away. If I remember correctly, at the time, Bolman was in the Boston area. Tim Corrigan was in upstate New York. So they may have gotten together to do this. I'm not entirely certain, but they could have sent stuff back and forth in the mail. These days, a lot of jam comics are done over the internet. So yes, 1987. Limited first printing of 500 copies with Hectocolor covers. Hectocolor. I have no idea what that process is, but clearly it does that coloring. So I guess that's not paper, or that's not pencils. Bolman is an amazing cartoonist. Just nothing but creativity in the mode of like a Steve Willis or somebody like that. So anyway, it says here, rooms full of pictures askew on their hooks, or Toasted Susie is my cream cheese, a magnum opus in 3 distinct stages. The story really begins on a rumbly spring day in 18 whatever, when dashing young hussar Ivan Gurley Brown and his wraithful tapir Ambrose pulled in at the sign of the Beehive and Spats. What ho, Ambrose! You can see his tapir is carrying him. They go back and forth. Looks like it's one page by Bolman, one page by Corrigan. At the same time, Rawhead the Clown and his pal Bloody Bones were wending their winding way, to this same institution. I have nefarious schemes to discuss, my pal. A ship enters the harbor at midnight. Now this is Corrigan lettering. The shading looks very Corrigan-esque. So maybe they shared pages even. A ship enters the harbor at midnight. 'Tis the passing fancy, and laden she is with antique barber poles, worth their weight in gold, good Bloody Bones. Barber poles, ye say, shiver me timbers, and then slap. Quiet, you fool. But our story really begins at the Staring Rock Hotel in Staring Rock, Arkansas, home of the Staring Rock. It was here on June 23rd, 1867, that Elmer Pantry, rutabaga salesman and part-time fiend, imprisoned 20 monkey demons in the aforesaid antique barber poles. There they are. And then, so that's Bolman. We're switching back now to Corrigan. Only a few days earlier in Boston. Say, George, did you know your barber pole was missing? What? George and millions of other barbers around the world found the same thing. Ah, mein pole! So you got Germans there, you got Bostonians there. In a fit of depression, barbers worldwide began slashing their own throats. And he's slashing his throat off panel and says, on second thought, skip the shave. While in Staring Rock, Arkansas, the great Staring Rock heard of these mysterious events through his network of smaller rocks, for the Staring Rock was king of rock. Oh, great one, all the world's barber poles have been stolen. I see all, and careth not one bit. Back to Bolman. This barber cut off his customer's feet in his frenzy. Just call me the demon barber of Feet Street. This set the scene 20 years more or later for where's the barber pole ship, maybe? Right there. A ship was pulling in. But were these the right antique barber poles? Do you think we will prosper in the new world, Mr. Sikowski? Certainly, Mr. Imbrowski. Everyone here needs a haircut. Stand and deliver. Ah, our first customer. Stop. What are you doing to me? Come on. Come now. An interesting monster must have an interesting hairdo. While in Arkansas, Rock can stand this jam comic no longer. So giant rock creatures come out of the ground. Where did Rock come from? Why does he live? We know nothing about him except that he's frighteningly huge and hideous. Run or Rock will pound us flat. There are no barbers. They are all dead. A shave indeed. This is a tavern. Go to a barber, you fool. Fine state of affairs, this is, Ambrose. With no barbers, my face will soon be covered with hair. How revolting. So we've gone back to the character on the first page. Nothing personal. Excuse me, you look like a fine, upstanding young man. What is your name? Ivan Gurley Brown. Are you related to? No, I'm not. Ivan, I like you. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. A boatload of barbers is arriving at the harbor the year after yesterday. If you hurry, you'll just make it. Thank you, my friend. I'll never forget this. Off, Ambrose, as fast as your little tapir feet can carry you. Cute. They really do a nice job meshing their styles. I think Corrigan, by and large, apes Bolman more than Bolman apes Corrigan. But clearly they're having fun together. Well, how does it look? Fritter my fringes, I look like a gone gump. Meanwhile, aha, the poles. And there are all the barber poles. Rawhead, the poles are stored below, and say, I like your new hair. Silence, you twit! Elsewhere, that very moment, elsewhere on this page, and Rock can stop this madness. Gosh, Clement, Rock the Unbelievable smashes buildings as if they were toys. Wherever we run, wherever we hide, there is no escaping the fury of Rock. He is an inexorable terror. I will climb through this hole to page 6 and mop up a messy situation. What a great little jam idea of physically moving a character to another page. Because, of course, we don't know what's going to happen with Rock. That's really cool. So, handing it off. Just what on earth are we going to do with all these barber poles anyway? Rawhead, me bucko, it's not the poles we are after, clam brains, but the demons within. Demons? Ahoy, Ambrose, there lies the passing fancy. Stand ye fast, varlets. Avast ye swine. Ambrose, duck! And they jump off. It appears someone else is after these poles. This treasure is mine, ours. No one shall take it from me, us. Suddenly, Rock is here. Meanwhile, on the boat, Ivan and Ambrose, fearing for their lives, attempted to disarm Rawhead and his fiendish companion. There followed a fierce and thrilling sword fight, which made this sound. Clang, clang, crang, bing. Unfortunately, the craven Bloodybone snuck up on Ivan and walloped him with a peach basket, which made this sound. Bong. Make 'em walk the plank. Into the sea, you scurvy knaves. But then fate steps in. Arg! Benib. Sound effects courtesy of Weiss and Henderson, WLH Pubs. So everything smashes. Thank you, Stir Rock. Thanks for helping me quell this riptide of diabolism, big fella. No problem, little pal. It's worth it just to know evil can no longer run free in these waters. Meanwhile, the barber poles roll with the waves like candied driftwood, bulging and crackling as black paws scramble their way into the noonday sun. Is this really the end? Fun book. Bolman and Corrigan did a good job. And you can tell these guys were throwing each other creative curveballs, including the rock, having the barber poles have demons in them. All that stuff. Really neat. And it's a nice looking book too. I mean, it's neat how they have the information itself within the structure of the page, how they go back and forth with each other. It's really nicely done. Very cool looking book. Neat jam. Gosh, it was only 50 cents back in the day. And that is Hamjam by Tim Corrigan, Timmy C, and Ted Bolman, Teddy Lee. Very nice. Folks, I hope you enjoyed. I will look forward to sharing more classic zines with you in the days ahead. But for today, this was Hamjam, and I hope you have a great day. I will see you next time.